Welcome to Happy to See Me, the podcast that puts the spotlight on the overlooked and underestimated. I'm Erika Casupanan, the first Canadian to win Survivor. But before that, I was a Filipino immigrant and corporate perfectionist who felt doubted and overlooked. Now I'm here to prove that every journey, whether messy, beautiful, or unexpected, is worth celebrating. Every Monday, I bring you candid conversations and relatable pep talks with guests who've defied expectations. If you're ready to feel seen, celebrated, and empowered, you're in the right place. And here, I'm always happy to see you. What does it mean to take up space? I looked at the definition of this in a social context, and it was saying to be able to share your opinions and ensure that you are seen and heard by other people. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? But I know that that can feel like a tall order. And when you're part of a marginalized community, this can seem like a really big ask for yourself. You know, what happens when you decide that you want to take up space, you want to be brave, but all of society keeps telling you that you don't deserve it and you're not worthy of it. It's tough to take that step to be seen and heard. And for the record, everybody on a human level deserves to be seen and heard and to simply exist. And today's guest, Jaimie Weisberg, is talking about her experience as a content creator and overcoming all of the judgment from other people and from herself to build a community that is all about fostering self-acceptance and truly empathy and acceptance generally for anyone who's felt different. But first, I love to start each episode by talking about something I was happy to see this week. And I got together with someone I went to university with. It was somebody who I hadn't seen in maybe 14 years, but I would see them online and I saw in terms of work and business, they were doing all of these things. They were really growing. For the past couple of years, I would see them online and I would be cheering them on from the sidelines thinking that they're doing so well. So it was so nice when this person reached out to me saying that they wanted to chat about strategy, about what to do next in their career and other business projects that they're working on. So we got together and I was so looking forward to complimenting this person on everything I've seen them do and everything I've seen them achieve. And this person was telling me about, you know, they've done this, but they think that they could do more and what do they do next? And they think that there's so much more that they could be doing. And I was like, oh my God, wait. I've been watching you and I've been so proud of you and I've just seen you grow so much. I think you've actually done a lot. And on the flip side, I told them about the things I'm working on and the things that I have left to do and the feeling that I need to do more of this or more of that. And this person said to me, okay, wait, but I've been watching you and I feel like you've done so much as well. And it was a really almost sobering and grounding moment. I think we all, to a degree, experience this where when we're so focused on our own world, we look to the horizon at how far we need to go. And we think that since other people have gone that far or even farther, we feel like we're so behind. But we don't realize that there are so many other people around us who are probably seeing the progress that we've made and think, wow, that is incredible that they got there. They have worked so hard. They have grown so much. And to me, it was really a reminder to not be so hard on myself and to know that other people are feeling the same way. You don't always have to look ahead to the horizon. You don't always have to be pushing yourself to do something to get you to the next level. And you can take a moment and you can look at how far you've come. And there's probably other people who have seen how far you've come and who are proud of you. So that is what I was happy to see this week. And in this week's interview, we are talking about the beauty of having people follow you and people cheer you on your journey and the challenges of having so many people watch your journey when you might not fit the societal standard, whatever it may be. So this week, I am speaking with Jaimie Weisberg. Jaimie is a content creator with more than 1.8 million followers across different platforms. And she encourages everyone to embrace their uniqueness and to know that they are enough just as they are, all while inspiring self-confidence and overcoming societal pressures. We talk about the very real prejudice that Jaimie faces on social media as a content creator and how social media has been so healing for her through the community of people who are watching her on her journey or even walking side by side with her on her journey to no longer feel guilt and shame for just being the person she is and for knowing that she deserves a place in this world and to simply exist. So we talk about her mission to inspire people to see past the usual societal standards of beauty. We have a very real talk about the quote-unquote world of influencing. And we talk about fostering self-acceptance. This is a great episode for if you want to hear a very real conversation about learning that you are enough. So if you know somebody who needs that reminder that they are enough just as they are, send them this episode. But why don't we just get into it? Here is my interview with Jaimie Weisberg. I hope you enjoy it. Honestly, today I was getting ready to do this, and I'm like, I have no more toilet paper. I have to run across the street and get some toilet paper and be back in time for this podcast. I do that. I come back and I'm like, oh, my pants were inside out the whole time. So
that was literally me yesterday. Oh my God. And I'm like, I'm not changing it. Like, I'm home. Like, no one's going to notice. Like, we're here. Honestly, when I say I'm good, like, I don't know, good has like different connotations. I don't know. That's like forgetting toilet paper. I feel like it's like the theme of my life. It just, like, that's part of the everyday struggle, but we made it. We're here.
Okay, so when you say that you're good, you're like, there's different connotations. What are some of the connotations of good in your world?
We're existing. We're alive. We're just like here. I usually like to say that I'm here, like as like not to get different connotations. I don't know. I'm definitely gaslighting myself right now. I love to do that. But yeah, we're here. Let's put it that way. Like we're existing. I never asked to exist, but we're here anyways.
You know what? It's just getting through another day is good.
Exactly. The bare minimum. Yeah. Literally.
Sometimes we just have to be enough with the bare minimum, okay?
No, we deserve better, but like it's not happening right now, so we're just going to deal with it.
We always deserve better, but if we can only give the bare minimum, that's the best we can do that day, and that's fine.
Absolutely. That's feminism, like absolutely.
Okay, on this podcast, I love to talk to people who have been overlooked or underestimated in some way, so would love to know. Have you ever felt underestimated? And if you have, can you share a moment when you did?
Okay, this is not therapy, but like literally it is therapy because I feel like my entire life I've been constantly underestimated or overlooked or not paid attention to. And it really had me feeling isolated for a lot of my life. And I think that's a big reason on why I started social media is because I never wanted anybody else to feel alone growing up like I did. And if I had that one person to say like, you've inspired me or I feel less alone, then I think my job was done. But I think throughout my life, people really misunderstood me and it really left me feeling isolated and added to the challenges that I had growing up.
What do you think people were misunderstanding about you or not really understanding or overlooking when it came to you?
Honestly, everything. I think really I was judged by the cover. Like people tell you not to judge a book by its cover, but people didn't even want to read the pages. And that really played into my self-worth. For a long time, I really just survived on self-hatred and internalized hate and bad body image. And it really just ran my life living vicariously through other people because I didn't feel good enough to live as me, to be told that like I'm enough or I don't need to change anything or really just like, again, as we were talking about the bare minimum of you're okay exactly the way that you are. And I didn't really hear that. And if I did hear it, there was so many constant messages of telling me that I'm not. So how am I supposed to believe that one message that's telling me I'm enough? Like I'm not going to. It's not going to happen. So self-hatred really was like the driving factor and shame was just full force of my life for so many years. And it wasn't until recently that I was just like, I had enough. Like I don't want to spend the rest of the time I have on this earth. And we don't know how much time we have on this earth. Spending it hating myself. And I'm not perfect. Like I have days where I do feel ashamed or I do feel like I don't like myself, but I feel like I'd rather spend my energy into like at least tolerating or accepting the fact that I don't like myself because I don't deserve to suffer. And I've spent a lot more years hating myself than I did getting to know myself. But I'm really trying to reverse that and change this narrative in my head that I deserve to exist, period. I'm human and have wants and needs and desires, and I'm learning to honor that.
I'm sorry that these are things that you've experienced your whole life. Hearing you talk about it, it honestly sounds exhausting. It sounds tiring. It sounds like it's a lot for somebody to handle and for someone to go through. So what made you decide okay, enough is enough. I don't have to accept this anymore. I get to change the narrative that I tell myself, the narrative that other people say about me. What prompted that change?
I think it was like a couple things. I think I started my journey on social media and I really feel like, yeah, social media definitely has its cons. But for me, like as cheesy as it is, it saved my life. It gave me a voice when I couldn't find my voice. It gave me a community of people to believe in me when I didn't believe in myself. And it really inspired me to like have the courage to be who I am exactly as I am, like no apologies. It really changed my life. When I first started, I was a different person and it really helped me grow up into the person that I am now in having this community of people that just resonate and say like, oh, you've helped me. You've changed my life. You've saved me. And I'm like, well, you did the same for me. You gave me that voice to keep going and to share my story. And I think community is such a big thing in my life where it really is life-saving for me, whether it be online or the support system that I have built. It really was just letting go of this idea that I was living for others, even if they disapprove of me. Like there are people that do. And I don't deserve to suffer. Like I had to just do it for myself and kind of go in head first. And even if like I get loved different or I don't get the same treatment or this world like just sucks or all of those things, like I can't do it anymore. I can't live this way. And I just had enough, like whatever I can do to just reduce the suffering because life sucks. Really, it's not easy, and especially when you have certain challenges, but there is a little bit that it's enough to keep you going. And that's the point I was at. Like, I feel like it was my rock bottom of not willing to take any more of this, regardless how it looks to anybody else.
Wow. It really is community, and it seems like it's so reciprocal between you and the people online who support you, where you're really supporting each other. I want to know, what role did social media play in the journey? Was it you had decided that you were going to make this change, that you were going to be proud, and you'd already made that change within yourself, and then you decided to go on social media? Or was it more you decided that you wanted to be on this journey, and through social media, that's helped you more and more to decide that you deserve better. You don't deserve to suffer anymore. Like, what role did it play in the journey?
I think it's a little bit of both, but definitely the second one. Like, I didn't really know how it was going to look. I started this journey kind of documenting my mental health and my journey into eating disorder recovery. I was making videos in my driveway. It really started from the beginning that just kind of evolved into something that, I'll be frank, like there are days where I don't feel like I can show up, or I'm not proud of myself, or I can say like, what am I doing? Like, I can't do this. How am I not embarrassed? But it's just, I'm hoping or I'm working on that there are more days that like, I am proud of myself. Look what I'm doing. I'm helping these people. I'm helping myself. And it really gave me the courage to share my voice. And it's something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. I was just this loud, upfront person that really wanted to be on TV and really wanted to do these things. But again, like I let other people get to dictate how I live my life. And I finally just like, I was scared either way. I was scared of staying the same. And I was scared of like going in the direction that I wanted to do. So like, if I'm scared either way, I'd rather be scared in doing what I want rather than doing what other people want. And not to say that social media doesn't have its cons, because it definitely does. And it's not for the weak. And I feel if you don't have a good support system, it can really have serious impacts on your mental health and your self-worth. So really knowing for people who are like wanting to go into the game, people are vile on the internet and they don't have these things in their own life, and they want to pick apart every single thing apart, your appearance, your life, your personality, like, because I'm not even sure why. It doesn't matter. But I think it's like really not for the faint of heart if you are looking to dive into it. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying like, be cautious of yourself and know that you don't deserve it, but it is a part of the journey being on the internet. People think they're entitled to say things because they're behind a screen on the internet, and because I put myself online, I deserve that. But it's not true. Like, just because I can go rob a bank, like technically I could go rob a bank right now, doesn't mean I should do it. Just because you can hate on someone on the internet doesn't mean you can. Like, it's just, I don't know, like our common sense, like, I don't know where it went, but There's definitely cons, but for me, like I have such bigger purpose and life goals that the pros kind of outweigh the cons on this one for now.
I love that you talk about how you have a bigger purpose, right? I think that that's something we need to remember because honestly, I think if you do anything on the internet or anything where you're somewhat public, it's a weird thing where everyone thinks that now you're fair game and people can say whatever they want about you. I mean, I still get messages from people saying I didn't deserve to win a reality show I was on 4 years ago. I'm like, everyone chill out. Like, it was 4 years ago. Everyone chill. I'm just like minding my own business and existing. But I think that the internet, it allows for people to say these things unchecked without accountability, right? And they don't realize that there's real people that you're talking about that see this stuff. And then I know, listen, like we're smart girls. I know that we can look at these things and know whatever people are saying are not about us. It's them projecting their own stuff. We can do that logic all the time. But it is still shitty to have people say shitty things. When I was looking at your content ahead of this interview, I was thinking, God, like people are so cruel. Like I can see the shit that you have to deal with. How do you manage your mental health and protect your mental health when you're on the internet?
Well, I have a wonderful therapist who really just saves my life. I've been in therapy since I was 6 years old, and I think that has really helped me be able to deal with the people on the internet. Honestly, when I first started, it was like a big shock to like have hundreds of thousands of people tear apart my appearance. Like that's not normal. Like I don't care. Like
that's
hating
not
someone
normal.
is not normal. Like get that out of like why are we normalizing it? And I think this idea that now people can monetize off hating is like a big part of why people continue to do it. And rage baiting and profiting off the dehumanization of people who don't look like the beauty standard or are not what you want them to be. Like it's a big problem how there's no consequences. And yeah, like it gets to me. Like I'm point blank, I've definitely had my fair share of grief when it comes to the disdain and the hatred that people have towards me. I definitely questioned, like, is it worth it? Because I know a lot of people think this idea, like, oh, you get all this free stuff, you go to all these events. If that was
it's amazing, don't get me wrong, but
it is. I'm very privileged and grateful, but it's just like for me, that's not worth it. Like free stuff does not pay the bills. Free stuff does not worth like the countless, honestly, death threats, death wishes, like vile hatred comments that people send me. Like it's not the money. Like I could have sold out my morals a long time ago, but it's not. And I think having my therapist, having friends and family really who do support me is definitely something that does help me in my journey and kind of just like I've dealt with it my entire life. People off social media and on social media like are rude to me. Not everybody, but I get stared at the street. I've been mobbed. People come up to me and project their insecurities onto me. So yes, it's a lot more people on the internet, but it's very real. Like the hatred of someone who doesn't fit your narrative or standard just existing makes people uncomfortable. And if I am making you uncomfortable with showing my outfits, going out, like that's not having to do with me. You need to ask yourself why you're uncomfortable or why it sparks this hatred or this anger towards someone that you don't like the way that they look. Like, why are you mad about that? Why do you care? And if I'm making you uncomfortable to show up in these spaces that you don't think I should be in, you should probably question that in therapy and not on the internet.
It's such a weird thing that's happening at this point in history where with the internet, we're able to be exposed to so many different types of people, see different types of people, see how people from different walks of life, from different parts of the world live. And I think that that's an amazing part of the internet. But at the same time, I think that it also allows us to feel so disconnected from other people where we think that we can say things and just because they've put themselves out there, they've signed up for it, they know it comes with the territory. And of course, like, we know that anyone can comment, anyone can say anything. Like, we know that that's something that can happen, but it doesn't make it less hurtful. It doesn't make it less painful. It's not like your emotions as a person are wiped away because you get to go to a film screening. So I think it's like we're able to connect, but then disconnect at the same time. And I think it's like, obviously for people like us who get invited to things and are sent things for free, it's important to stay grounded. But I hear you and I agree with you that it's not like our feelings and our emotions go away. It's just like we have a very specific type of mental health challenge with this type of job. That I
And
think
I
a lot
feel
of
like
people
we're
don't have.
gaslighted because people are like, well,
Yeah.
it's not a real job. And I'm like, why is it not a real job? Is it because women are at the forefront of this field and are making a lot of money? Is that why it's not a real job? Is it because like you can't do it or you don't want to do it? It's like gaslighting me into thinking that I'm not working. And yes, like part of this job is simple, like making videos. But on the other hand, people don't talk about how other people have teams of people working for them or they have partners. Yeah, there are people who do have it easy, but there's a lot of people who come from marginalized identities that have to work 10 times harder to get the same things that people who are part of the 1% get. And not enough people talk about that. And because they're putting these people who are in privileged spots, like saying, oh, this is so easy. Yeah, it's easy because you're literally the 1% or you have a team of people helping you. It's not like that for everybody. So yes, there are parts that I'm so privileged and grateful to have. But on the other hand, like I work my butt off. I have been doing this alone for about 5 years and I just recently started to get some help. But yeah, no, it's not as easy as people say, but I will say it's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's also like very challenging not having people to help or the financial. I'm not saying you need like the highest quality camera or things like that. You don't. But having people to like manage your comments, negotiate deals for you that like you don't get lowballed or reach out. Like there are things that people have that do help that not have everybody has access to.
Yeah. I will say, like, because I had a corporate job for 10 years before I did Survivor. And then now I make content, I speak, I do all sorts of things. And I would say, in terms of making content specifically, like, again, like you were saying, you're basically like a freelancer and entrepreneur. I think that people don't realize that content creation is a form of entrepreneurship. So you're running so many different things in order to keep your content creation business going. But at the same time, I think that compared to like being in a corporate job, I'm like, it's a lot simpler, as you said. It's way simpler.
100%.
It's just, again, you're an entrepreneur essentially, and you are subject to different mental health challenges specifically versus other jobs because you're constantly being torn down. So I think it's one of those things where it's just like every job has their thing. This is
100%.
the very specific thing that happens for content creators.
I think because it's such a new field, people are really unknown. And I feel like it's just like, okay, it's not real. Okay, well, it's not for you, but I think that's why TikTok did so well. It's like giving access to real people to start seeing them in the spaces that like we didn't see. Like when we just had that one photo of Instagram, seeing someone on their private jet, or like it's really like opening this idea of what a highlight reel looks like giving a chance for real people to really make it that has even less opportunities than like they did before. I'm not saying it's like where we need to be or that like there aren't still barriers, systemic barriers, but like it's definitely moving in the direction to give people access, like stay-at-home moms, like giving them an income stream, like people who are starting small businesses. It really has opened a lot of doors, including myself, who kind of just fell into this. Like I started making videos 4 or 5 years ago and I didn't have a degree. I didn't go to school for this, and it kind of just blew up to anything I could imagine. And it really gives real people a chance to like do their thing. And like, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but definitely like people have a lot of misconceptions of the social media and content creation world.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that we see all the time, right? People love an underdog, but then once somebody starts to get really successful, then naturally people want to pull them down. And I think especially right now at a time where economically there's so much uncertainty, people are struggling in a way that they haven't before. They see these influencers getting free PR packages. I can understand why people are getting angry. At the same time, the person getting the PR package is likely someone just trying to like make
in
it
your
happen.
Position too. Yeah. Exactly. And people don't understand, like, yeah, they might be getting free PR, but like people don't talk about the taxes. Like if you're doing a gifted collaboration that is a barter of services and you're required to pay taxes on them. So all these influencers who are going on all these Tarte trips, like, and they're like not cheap trips, like you are required to pay taxes on that. And like not always, but like sometimes the taxes are more than like people make like in 5 months. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not just I'm getting free stuff. Like free stuff does not pay the bills. And sometimes they actually have to pay. So like take it with a grain of salt. It's not everything.
I think it's like we're all just trying to get by. We're all just trying to
Literally,
figure it
though.
out and get by. It's just content creators have made themselves available for people to see them trying to get by. And it's also like a weird game in social media where it's like you have to make it seem like you're doing better than you are to attract, I don't know, sponsors, brands, or whatever. It's also like all honestly like a weird game.
It is so weird. I don't want to play.
I know.
Esco. Do not collect $100. Like
I know sometimes because it's like I'm fortunate that I get invited to events. I'll do the occasional brand deal. I've partnered with brands that I really love. I will occasionally get the free stuff. But then sometimes I'm like, this is a messy game. I don't know how deep I want to get into this.
Absolutely. 100%. And I think like it's not just about the brand deals for me. It's something more. It's really about, again, going back to my purpose of like wanting to inspire others that like they deserve to the bare minimum of being treated like human. And like, that's really my message. Like, it's not just for a certain group. If you've ever felt different about yourself, you're not alone. And that's really what my page and what kind of my message is. Just because you're different or you feel different does not mean you deserve any less as much as the next person. But apparently that's controversial. But I think because the idea that it's controversial, it just means that I have to keep going. Even in, like you said, the times that we're in are really hard. I just want to validate that. Like, we're in hell. Like, excuse my French. Like, it is a really hard time.
The world is messed up right now.
100%.
Yeah.
So we got to give ourselves compassion and just like one day at a time. We're here and that's it.
Well, I want to talk about your impact on social media. Over the last 5 years of you being on TikTok, on social media, was there a moment when you really felt like, wow, what I'm doing has made an impact or what I'm doing has really resonated with someone?
I think that person that has made an impact or that I resonated with someone was myself. Like looking back from when I first started, like I was making videos in a hospital room, like documenting my recovery journey to now, like I'm going to movie premieres and movie screenings. And not even just that, like it's really just like finding my voice, like being the person I always wanted to be. And I couldn't have done that without the impact social media has had on my life. So that's definitely like a huge part of where I am now. The impact it's had on my life is life-changing. And I'm not talking about the free stuff. I'm really talking about like, it's definitely saved my life. Like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this community of people. And I think like another full circle moment was getting to share these things with my family, getting to prove that like nobody thought I could do this. Like everybody thought I was delusional. Like we're here now and there are still things that I'm striving for, but people, not that they shouldn't have in the first place, but like people like are like, holy shit, like look what you did. And it really just keeps the fire in me to want to do more. And just the constant messages I get from people, especially like when mothers say, my kid watches you and she feels so much better about herself, or you've helped me feel so good about myself. I love watching you. Keep going. That impact on me is why I'm still here.
That is so profound, right? It's so important what we see. And even thinking about the images of you on the red carpet, like when you were a kid, would you have seen someone like you on the red carpet? And now think of all of the photos and the videos that you have over the last few years of you being on red carpets at film screenings. It's wild.
It's not real. Like it really isn't. And it's just like, I have so much more to do that's why I want to keep going. And I don't think that's the sole reason, like to be on a red carpet. Yeah, it's a dream come true. But my dream come true is like for people to like not be treated poorly because they're different. I have different goals that like I'm going to share my story with the world, that like nobody should feel alone because they don't look like how they're supposed to look, or nobody should be treated different because they don't meet your standard. And I think it's sad to say that we're going a little bit backwards, in my opinion,
Yikes,
but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not like, and there are people that have kind of like been a product of the system and really just like are turning on like, especially online, on things they did talk about and changing their stance. And I don't blame them, but it's just like the system is very loud right now. Like they are in full force, and it sucks to say there's not many of us. And I don't want to be one of those people that like gets thrown back into the system and like their ideals of like, I was never more miserable and more unhappy. And yeah, so I'm still here. And I hope that if I do start talking like that, one of my followers, or I like to call them my besties, will knock some sense into me that like, I can't leave my community hanging. And as much as there are bad days, like I can't leave right now. Maybe in another year or two, I'll be in a different place. But for now, like I'm not ready to back down, especially like in the hard times we're going in right now. I need someone, and I'm sure as hell a lot of other people do too.
Hearing you talk about it, it's so clear that you're driven by your purpose. Like that's what really matters to you. I also think that's part of why people hate on influencers so much, is because they think that they're just these vapid people who just want to get free stuff, whatever. That's not the case with you. It's clear like you have a purpose. You have something you want to do. You want to build a community. This is not about, making Jaimie the star. This is about
it's part of it.
Impact.
Part of it.
Okay. Tell me.
I don't want to be a fucking star. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is like, no, like everybody deserves to be treated with respect or as human.
What is your vision for Star Jaimie?
I don't know, because when I have vision, it like shoots me in the foot. I don't know. Like I have big dreams. I hope to like be at the Oscars or something in terms of that. But I really just want to create a successful business of seeing me and for other people to see in powerful positions like CEO and doing the things, because I want it to inspire them to have that chance to feel like they can do the same and to feel good about themselves when the world is telling them not to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that. I never will. And when you don't feel good about yourself, it's okay. You're allowed to hate yourself. Everybody else is telling you to. Like, that is normal, but it doesn't mean it's okay and that you deserve that. So I don't know. I'm not done. I still have a lot on my journey to like keep going.
I would say hold on to that. Hold on to the mission and hold on to the impact and how you want to feel, right? Because how you do it is going to probably be in an unexpected way. 6 years ago, did you think that you would be on TikTok? No, that wasn't even like a possibility.
Honestly, I don't think I'd be alive if I was like going at the rate 6 years ago. And it's like sad to say, but I was not in a good space. I was very sick and dealing with a lot of mental health struggles 6 years ago. If you had told me I'd be here, I wouldn't believe you. I don't think I would be alive if I kept going at that rate.
You surprised yourself.
I did. Like, I really did. I surprised a lot of people, but more importantly, myself.
Do you think that you were the one most surprised by where you're at now?
No, because I feel like I have these, like, what are they called? I feel like I have these, like, it's like glasses or vision. Like I just have this like tunnel vision that I just like, I'm going, like I can't look up, I can't look side. I feel like I just gotta go. And I think sometimes like it hits me like a ton of bricks, but like I really just like, I need to go more. And that's my own downfall. It's not recognizing my own accomplishments, but yet it feels like this vision of like, I can't look up. I can't see what I've done until I get more. But no, like, it really is an entire difference of now from those past 5 years to when I first started, completely different person.
Yeah, it's incredible to see. And I feel like I have this issue too, where let's say you move up a rung on the ladder and you're just looking at the next rung on the ladder and you're like, how do I get there?
Like you're not looking at the spaces that it took to get you to that up the ladder.
And that's the thing. And then if you turn around, you're like, wait, I came a really long way. Why don't I like take a moment and take that in before I then start to figure out how to get to the next one? Because you've done so much over the last few years. Like it's incredible how much you've done over the last few years.
Thank you. And I think like being able to look down at the ladder, even though I'm not going to look down, I'm scared of heights. But I think like, I forget of all the steps I took to get here. It's wild. Even talking about it now, I think it helps remind me of like how far I've come. But at the same time, how far I still have and I want to go.
On your social media, I saw that you're currently on another journey. You're documenting your journey to take up more space very intentionally. So what is one way that you are intentionally taking up more space?
I'm doing it. Like I'm literally just existing in these spaces for so long. Like it's funny. Like I thought about doing it even going to the bank. I have felt shame and hatred in every part of my life, whether it's getting up in the morning, taking a shower. Like, there is just the immense disdain I've had for myself that I want to reclaim. And even if I don't like, oh my God, I love myself. Oh my God, like self-love. Even if I don't get to that point, I want to reclaim it. And it's like, I deserve to be in this space. I deserve to be in this room, whether it's like going out with friends or going to a movie premiere or brushing my teeth. It's all the same of like learning to take the shame and the guilt and the hatred away from these experiences that I've felt for so much of my life. So it really goes from like moving my body all the way to like getting out of bed in the morning. Like, shame has ran my life for so long and I don't want to do it anymore.
You mentioned self-love, and I was curious, what do you think of the concept of self-love? What does that mean to you?
I think it's like a really hard, it's very nuanced, and I think that it's not as easy as, okay, I'm going to do A, B, and C, and then I love myself. I don't think that's how it works. And I think for someone who's dealt with such abuse and really traumatic past and has really ran their lives on shame and hatred and guilt, it doesn't feel it's attainable for me right now. I'm just saying right now. So I kind of like am in the space of like, I'm letting the idea of loving myself go. And I feel like your first instinct would be like, that's really sad. And it is like, it sucks, but it's also this idea of freeing myself from, if I don't get A, B, and C, it doesn't mean I'm not going to get to D. Like, I'm still worthy of finding a relationship or achieving my goals, even if I don't love myself. And I think letting the idea of like loving yourself has all these rules and you have to do it. And if you're not confident or you don't do this, then like nothing good will ever happen. And it's like, it's not that black and white. That's the way I want to think. Like, okay, I don't love myself. Then what? Am I going to melt? Is the world going to crumble if I don't do this one thing? Am I never going to achieve my goals if I don't love myself? I think it definitely makes it harder and challenging, but things in this life have never come easy to me. So like, why am I going to start now? And I think it really is to just reclaim this idea that self-love isn't the end-all be-all of living a free, peaceful, secure life, which is ultimately what I'm striving for. So I don't know. I really have a tough time with this idea of self-love because we're just starting with myself right now. And we'll see where that takes me. I can't say never, but right now is just like, it seems too daunting for me.
I totally agree when you say that the way that people talk about self-love, there's so many rules, it feels like sometimes, where it almost gets into that toxic positivity category where you can't say one thing slightly not 100% positive about yourself because that means that you secretly hate yourself. Like, sometimes I think that the standard is too high for self-love. And when I think about, okay, so thinking about self-love, that love towards yourself, when you love other people, let's say if you love your family or your partners or something, you love them all the time, but like, there's definitely going to be times where you feel annoyed with someone in your family or annoyed with your partner, or where you're like, I love them, but like, we need to have some space. If the love that you have for other people isn't at 100 happy all of the time, I think it's okay if that's what the love for ourselves looks like too, where it feels different all the time.
And I think it's not the same having love for other people as it is for myself, because there were so many conditions that were put on loving myself or how people loved me that like, it's not the same to put that outward love towards other people than towards myself, because A, I never want anyone to feel like how I feel, and B, like, it's different and it's not conditional love. And I think this idea of like, oh, you can just love yourself. Like, you can't love yourself out of systemic oppression. You can't love yourself out of this world not being designed for you. So just like, it seems unattainable. And if I never get there, I'm still exactly who I am, deserving of respect and worth and decency. And if I love myself or not, there's not so much like validity to it. Like, I'm taking the unattainable standard of doing that and be like, okay, I don't, now what?
It's so wild to me that people get so triggered by you on the internet, because I feel like you're not asking for anything radical. You literally just want to exist in peace.
I want to talk about it from their point of view. Well, you're not healthy. Well, why are you using health as a way on how you treat people? Like, that's weird. Oh, you're unhealthy. You deserve to like be a piece of shit. Like, No. Would you go up to someone with a broken leg and be like, you're unhealthy? No, it's weird to moralize health. Health is not the issue. It's like the issue is why you feel so comfortable demonizing someone because of it. It's weird. And if we're really going to talk about health, like, do you actually care, or you just don't want to see me existing in a body that you don't like? Because I do take care of my health. Maybe it's not in the ways that you just deem as healthy, but that's what got me in this position in the first place. I see a dietitian. I see a occupational therapist. I see a nutritionist. And it's just like, I don't talk about these things because I don't owe them to you. I don't owe you health. And I owe it to myself, but it looks different on everybody. Health has a lot of privilege that a lot of people can't access. And it's just not fair to demonize someone for something like as nuanced as health is. Like treating people based on that and how you judge them, or whether you want to date them or think of them as human, which is the bare minimum, is weird. And like, loser, like you're a loser if you do that.
Yeah, like, can we just have some empathy and just know that we're all people? Even judging people for things that are so surface level, like the way that they look, we just don't have to do that anymore. Can't we all just exist as we are and we all just mind our own business? Yeah, I've learned I'm asking for a lot, apparently.
No, too much.
Is there one thing that you really want the world to know about you?
No, because like, I feel like I just want them to know me, but it's like, okay, if you want to know me, great. If you don't, like, you're lost. So it's just like, do I want the world to know things? Like, I only want you to know that, like, I guess these bare minimum things of like treating people with respect and human, but like, you should already know that. And like, if you want to know more things about me, like, stay a while, like, look at my page, like, get to know me. And if you don't, like, it's your loss. And go find someone else. There are a lot of other people that you can resonate with or that are more likely aligned to you and what you want. But like, leave me alone. If you don't want to know me or get to know me, that's totally cool. There's probably a huge list. Find something else to do than like taking your hatred towards people and because you don't like my body to somebody else. But I do want to say, for the people that do want to know me, I wish you could just see yourself and how worthy you are of respect and kindness as decency as much as the next person. So if you don't want to know me, I don't want to know you. But if you do want to know me, stay a while, like 100% it will be worth it.
I feel like that's one of the lessons that everybody who exists on the internet has to learn really quickly, but is helpful throughout the rest of our lives, where you're going to be for some people and not for some people. And that's okay. You're not going to be for everybody, but as long as there are the people who you know are in your community that you can impact, then that's enough. And you don't need the rest of the people.
100%. And I think for so many years, like I wanted to just be liked by everyone. But I think it wasn't possible. Like people are going to judge me without even knowing me. And it hurts so badly to just like be so angry at people for just like judging me by a book by its cover. Like, why are you doing that? Like, I haven't done anything to you. I didn't rob a bank. I haven't committed a crime. I'm just existing. And to really just like be treated differently, it really drove me to live vicariously through other people because people judged me. Like I had to like live through others in order to like feel validated or worthy. And it's just like, no, I deserve to have people in my life that do want to get to know me, or like the right people will find me. And I think it's definitely a lesson I had to learn at a very young age, but I'm just now starting to realize that like I don't deserve to settle, and I want anyone who comes into contact with me or takes away from my page, then neither do you. You don't deserve the bare minimum, whether it comes to fashion or media or anything. You don't deserve to settle, and you deserve to have everything. Whether there are different challenges to get there, you still deserve it. Like your worth does not change.
I love that you reached that point where, again, no matter what happens from here on out, you know that you and people who are different deserve, at the very least, that respect and to know that they are worthy. I want to ask you for some advice for people who are listening. So for people who decide that they want to start showing up more confidently, whether it's on camera, on social media, at events, in social situations, and they've been taught their whole lives that they shouldn't be seen or they're too different. What is your advice for someone who might be going through this?
I hate giving advice, but I hate this idea that like if it doesn't work, like I'm not responsible. Like I just like
you're not a
I
therapist.
don't know. Like I don't
You're
know
just
if it's
talking to
good.
your besties.
Exactly. It's really just like this experience from my own perspective. if you want to do those things, I understand why you don't. But if you do and you think it's for you, then don't give up. Don't listen to people who have opinions about you before they even meet you. You deserve to show up for yourself, however that is. But also at the same time, like, people suck and they're vile. And I get it, like, social media or whatever, it's not for everyone. But just like, if I lived based on the opinions of people who don't want me to live, I wouldn't be living how I wanted to live. So I live for the people that want to see me live and for myself and not for other people, because why would I listen to people who don't want to see me live in the first place? And I really hope that you learn to do the same. And I'm still learning of just like, you deserve all of these things. There are certain challenges, but it doesn't take the worth or the humanness out of it if you don't get those things, or if it's harder. Like, that's totally valid. I think, like, yeah, you deserve all the good things, and if you're a troll, you don't, and suck it. That's what I have to say.
And then we can talk.
Exactly.
Just a feeling, and then we'll talk. Okay, I know you don't like giving advice, but I'm going to ask you for one more piece of advice.
Okay, fine.
Before we wrap. I love that you are on this journey to take up more space and that you're just going out there, you're doing things in the city. So if there's somebody who's decided, okay, I want to take up more space, I don't feel like I've done it before, what are 2 baby steps that somebody can do to take up more space?
Honestly, I just like, I'm doing it right now. I'm in those baby steps. So like, you got to watch my series in order to find out, because I don't know if I know. I'm just like doing it. So it's not even a plug. It's really like, I don't know. I can't tell you like, just do it. I think like therapy 100%, but that's like not accessible for everyone. But yeah, I think you got to watch to find out, because I am learning with you, and it's not as easy as it looks. And we'll learn together and along the way. Yeah, I don't have all the answers either. And it's a process of just like unlearning all this bullshit that I've been taught for so long. And it's not easy, but I think it's going to be worth it.
So if somebody wants to feel like they are not alone in their journey, then they can follow you and you guys can take those steps side by side.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, well, Jaimie, if people want to follow you and keep up with your journey, where can they do that?
My name is the same. I made it easy. It's Jaimie.Weisberg, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, follow me on those pages.
And how do you spell your name?
So I spell it with 2 I's. It's Jaimie.Weisberg, Weisberg.
Thank you, Jaimie, for being so open about your social media journey. And if you know somebody who needs the reminder that they are enough as they are, make sure you share this episode with them. Now, I would love, and be so grateful if you could subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. As always, we are on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's at Happy to See Me Pod. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me this week. And I will be happy to see you next Monday.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.